So this complete graphic novel haul is definitely a lot smaller than it usually is, and usually if it's a significant amount, I'll say, oh, here's my birthday. It's only birthday and Christmas time is the only time I do this, but it's 6 comics this month, rather than at least being a double because of the first book, which is don't know why I didn't just have it ready. The Spirit Connoisseur edition, and we'll do a little bit of an unboxing too, because I just got it. And to have spent it was $72. It was kind of one of those things where it's kind of like fate. It's like, all right, I'll get it. Fate sought her way through, and it was just like, all right, I'll get it. $72, not bad. Darwyn Cooke, Image Comics, the only thing he did for Image because it's a reprint. So technically this is from DC. And what's funny is they have the trade paperback at the library. Not like at the home base. I had to interloan it to get through another library. But and even then, they could say, oh yeah, we had it on the catalog, but not the library itself. The library itself doesn't have it anymore, or that's just a huge lie in general, because no library has it in general. The other thing I always think of is when COVID times happened and the library was like, we're not doing interloans anymore because we're paranoid or whatever, or what have you. So I never got the full story on why they stopped doing that. There was instances where that happened. I don't know if it was COVID times happen, they say no, then after COVID times were over, they were like, all right, why not go back into it? And even on a hardcover, that's it's almost $100. Oh no, wait, no, well, there's a little blemish here, a little ding there. But I guess how big the box was, or how big the book is, it's unavoidable. But then you get, so it's a slipcover, slipcase, you couldn't tell. But then you get the actual book itself, and the bottom I was gonna say there's no blemishes on the hardcover itself. Imagine there was like one of these corners was dinged, like how that dinged like the Manifest Destiny Volume 2. They got, but wonderful presentation, definitely worth the price of admission. Here's the artwork. I had to actually put it way back. That's how big this book is. It's a behemoth of a book. I mean, perfect presentation. It's Darwyn Cooke artwork. So this doesn't collect a whole lot of issues. That's the only thing that was kind of like, oh, great. It collects 1 through 6, 8 through 12 of The Spirit. So it's all the issues that Darwyn Cooke was involved in writing. Then you have a one-shot of Batman, The Spirit. I'm going to try to flip right to that. And that is, I think the cover is, no, the artwork itself. The, oh, don't tell me you don't give me the cover. You do, thank God. They just said The Spirit issue 2, and it was like blue. It was like paper stock, not paper stock. What do they call it? There's nothing. It's just a blank Spirit 5. I don't know why they don't collect Spirit issue 6. I know you just did the cover of it, but come on, collect issue 6. I know you're probably like me, or whoever was in charge of putting this all together is probably as superstitious against number 13 like I am, so they want to collect 13 issues of The Spirit in this collection. But they should have had that in here. Trying to look for the Batman Spirit issue. But Darwyn Cooke is not that name that I've always had on my radar. But whenever the name comes up, I always kind of, like, my ears kind of perk up, like, oh. So, and because he's no longer with us, I think it was just even more of a, why not get this? Now, the one thing, here it is, Batman Spirit, at the end. The one thing I'm thinking of is, what if they do more of this? And I kind of hope they don't. In the sense that, yes, the artwork was done by him for the Batman the Spirit. I could tell right away. But, so this is, I'll let you go over because we have an issue. The issue is done by Jeff Loeb of Batman the Spirit. And that'd be all fine and good, but Jeff Loeb has done this other series for Image, and it's really weird because they only have one trade for it. That they should have two, at least 2 trades. There's one complete collection trade that's a bit thicker, but they don't. So it's kind of hard to find the remaining issues. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I should do that. October 2025? That's not right. That's weird. Because even for like places like eBay and comic shops, it was not that early, was it? I don't know. But it's Act 4 with Skybound. So it's Image Skybound, but the ones who put this all together is Act 4. I think Act 4, if I'm not mistaken, they're the ones who are also behind the Martini editions of Richard Parker's books. So it's kind of like a little crossover here, which is nice. But definitely worth the price for admission. And I was like, whatever, at the end of the day, for spending a lot of money, only getting 6 trades in that sense. So I don't know why. So story and script is done by Jeff Loeb. Ooh, story and art by Darwyn Cooke. Oh, that's awesome. Nice. So they both have story credits, but script is done by Jeff Loeb, so that doesn't mean much. But I always like that. I know it's silly, but I want it to be all Darwyn Cooke, because it is the big name here. So we got that. And I'm just going to say Darwyn, Jay Bone is the other name. I don't know where he comes in, but you got the Spirit, Connoisseur edition. But then the other book, we're going to kind of go backwards in terms of format. So I finally got the remaining 4 volumes of Farmhand by Rob Guillory. I think also is the artwork. Yeah, it's the only name here. A little very big ding on volume 2, which is really pissed off about. But as I was playing with it, trying to get that, you know, it was kind of like on top of one of my books I got for Christmas. What's it called? Last Man. The top was like that, but the bottom, like, honestly, that's gonna happen. I've always said, if there's gonna be shelfware, make it at the bottom, because as I'm getting the book in and out of the shelf, it's always that thing I always says, yeah, it's gonna happen. So volume 2 collects Farmhand 6 through 10. I'm gonna show the artwork for Farmhand volume 2, because I did not get volume 1 this month, so I can't do the artwork for volume 1. I do own volume 1, obviously, but I always like to do the artwork for the newest volume I have, or the earliest volume I have. So if I get a series 1 through 10 all in the same month, I'll do volume 1, but if it's 2 through 10, I'll do volume 2. That's the way I do it. Also, I don't want anyone getting confused, I think I got volume 1 this month too. So volume 3 collects, can you have it at the bottom? I don't know why they do that. Like volume 2, it was really helpful. It had it right at the back. Collects Farmhand, oh, it's right here, I'm an idiot. Collects Farmhand 11 through 15. Some trades will do that. Like volume 2 will have on the back here, then volume 3 won't. So it was not me being an idiot. It was literally how that has happened sometimes. See? Not on the back here. The newer volumes. Both of them. Why do you guys do that? That's okay, it's here at least. Volume 4 is 16 through 20. And volume 4 is called The Seed. Volume 3 is called Roots of All Evil. Volume 2 is called Thrown in the Flesh. And then Volume 5 is really helpful because they say The End, and it collects 21 to 26. Other weird blemish was right here. The wavy pages like that, I'm like, great. I don't think that's water damage. It's just weird because I thought like, oh, is like it's the pages are a little dinged, like they cut like an indent, you know what I mean? But it's not. It's just, I don't even feel the top of it. That can't be water damage. No, it's not. It's one of those things I'm psyching myself out thinking it is when it probably isn't. But I think if I put it on the shelf and I squeeze it really tight together, it'll go away. Hopefully. But now I have the entirety of Farmhand and everything Rob Guillory did for Image Comics. They also have Chew, which he's the artwork for. But writer-artist. And I'm just going to make sure that there's no other names. I'll check volume 1 of Farmhand. Colors by Taylor Wells. That's the only other name here that So I go over artist, writer, or colorist. That's all I go over. Then finally, A Star Called the Sun. Everything done by Simon Roy. GBiv. And this one, smaller size trade. $20, which for a thicker book like this is not a bad price. I'm just thinking, like, you have it already. Like, if you had a digest size, that'd be fine. But this is, like, compact edition size. I'm like, come on, guys. You could have put this at, like, $10. DC Comics does it, and they're DC Comics. There's no excuse on these $10. But whatever. I got it for free because it was a good card, so I can't complain. And I don't think there's anything else I could have gotten anyways. You know, it was like a $10 trade. Actually, it's $25 was the gift card, so I probably could have. But that's it. I also want this month to be Amazon Prime only, so I had to sacrifice getting blemishes in some of the books. But at the end of the day, I got them all now, you know. I might get a replacement for Volume 2 and 5 of Farmhand. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. That's it.